Live from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, we're Basin trusted, Basin proud. This is Local 2 News Good Day in HD.
Well, it's a cold morning across West Texas as early lows fall to the upper 20s. How long will the cold air stick around? I've got that answer coming up in my full forecast.
Also, oil prices falling fast as crime in Odessa surges. Could a cause and effect cycle be plaguing the basin? And a bill bringing increased security checks blocked by Democrats. Now refugees may find relief when fleeing conflict. Then, accidents on I-20 leading one group to take action. Here are their plans to improve a 40-mile stretch between Midland and Odessa. Good morning and welcome into Good Day. I'm Rebecca Jeffrey. Thanks for joining us this morning. Today is Friday, January 22nd, 2016. We begin with oil prices down to $26 and some change a barrel. Some think it's a blessing at the pump, others a burden. This slump taking a toll on the Odessa Police Department. OPD officers responding to a robbery every single day this week. Local 2's Jenna Sands has the story.
And then they took more than 50% of my inventory. They went out running by the back door.
Marta's jewelry store, just one of the many Odessa businesses robbed in the past few months.
Yes, we have been experiencing more of the violent crimes on a regular basis.
When you compare the numbers from OPD's 2014 annual crime report to 2015, the numbers don't lie. As oil prices dropped in August of 2014, crime in Odessa rose. And in just 1 year, robberies and assaults have increased by 20%.
We basically have had responded to 4 robberies within the last 3 days.
Steve LeSueur with Odessa Police says he's seen a pattern as far as who commits these crimes.
Overall, with the oil economy here, we have a higher percentage of younger males, and young males are more likely to engage in criminal activity. Now the victim of armed robbery, the owner of Marta's jewelry store, she wants all of these crooks behind bars so they can't strike again if the price of crude oil continues to fall.
Just asking people to help us to put them in jail because it's what they have to be. I don't want them to go to another store and do the same.
Jenna Sands, Local 2 News.
Jenna, thank you. Now, Odessa Police telling us to check crime in your area. You can download OPD's Next Door app.
Now, your weather on the Tubes, sponsored by Planet Fitness.
And it is cold this morning. Let's get a check of our forecast with John.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up right there. It's cold. That's about all I've got to say. We are seeing those temperatures dropping down in a big way, below freezing early on this morning. Just a little bit of cloud cover trying to creep in from the west, but for the most part, satellite and radar going to be looking pretty clear throughout the rest of the day. Today, tomorrow, into Sunday, really all the way through the weekend. Should be mostly clear skies, but some very cold air settling in. 29 degrees right now in Odessa, Midland. Some light winds, but still making it feel like we're down in the lower 20s as you head out the door this morning. The good news is we've got some warmer temperatures coming our way by the weekend. The bad news is it's not going to last long. We've got a chance for that wintry mix coming our way by next week. Of the latest on all that coming up in my full forecast. But for now, Rebecca, back to you.
John, thank you. Continuing with your crime watch this morning, Midland police on the search for one man who burglarized Uncle's convenience store. But get this, he attempted 2 times before succeeding. Take a look. In this video, the man first kicks the glass, later takes something and throws it. After no success, he grabbed a sledgehammer, bashing through the glass. Officers say he made off with several cartons of cigarettes and an unknown amount of cash. If you have any information on this crime, contact Crime Stoppers, the number up on your screen. And an explosive scene in Winkler County Thursday after officials say an RV caught fire with live ammunition inside. Officials say it happened just west of Kermit on Highway 302. Witnesses at the scene told Local 2 News the fire started on a little trailer next to the shed.
It's kind of a danger we all live with, with the air being so dry, but I'm just glad it didn't do it.
Now on that trailer was a box of ammo that went off when the fire hit it. As you can see in these pictures, everything is charred inside that shed. The metal roofs collapsed. We're told there were no serious injuries. The cause of the fire still unknown. Switching gears, funeral service details announced for Braden Joplin. The family tells us visitation set for 5 to 7 Sunday night at the Nally Pickle and Welch Funeral Home. Braden's funeral scheduled for 1 Monday afternoon at Crestview Baptist Church in Midland. Now you'll remember the 25-year-old Midland native was killed after a car accident in Iowa Tuesday. He was volunteering on the Ben Carson campaign. Now a GoFundMe account has raised more than $20,000 in just one day for Joplin's medical and funeral expenses. Braden's father, Kenny Joplin, speaking out for the first time since the accident. He sent us a statement which reads in part, "My son, Braden, left his mark on this world and touched many, many people. He had a passion and he stood by it. We can all say he left this world doing what he loved." We have that full statement posted on our website. To read more, head over to yourbasin.com. Across Texas, in a significant move, the U.S. Senate voted down a bill that would have tightened security checks for refugees coming from Iraq and Syria. Now, that was in order to prevent terrorists from slipping through. Wednesday's vote comes as national surveys show Americans increasingly concerned about U.S. security. Our Rachel Glaser explains while many Republicans are displeased with the decision, it's bringing a sigh of relief to many refugees.
It's like, wow, yes, safety. I don't need to worry about explosion.
Katan Mustafa felt it as soon as the plane landed on U.S. soil. He took a breath, and for the first time, he wasn't afraid.
Every time I was leaving the house, I don't expect myself to come back.
That all changed when he and his family came to America as refugees. 7 years later, he considers himself a true Texan.
I even wear boots now.
Wednesday's Senate vote brought another sense of relief.
The motion is not agreed to.
The Democrats blocked the bill with an amendment that would have forced Republican senators to go on the record and vote on Donald Trump's controversial plan to ban all Muslims from coming to the U.S.
This is about our national security. Unfortunately, we don't have to look very far to see examples of why this legislation is necessary.
Senator John Cornyn pointed to the arrest of a refugee, a suspected terrorist in Houston earlier this month.
It's not easy to make it here.
Mustafa's parents and brothers are still in Baghdad. They applied to the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Program in 2013, but that process is at a standstill.
So I don't know if they even will be able to make it in the next couple of years.
Mustafa says additional security checks would make the resettlement of refugees next to impossible.
Each time we receive a call from Iraq, it's like, oh, we try to just breathe and prepare ourselves that something bad happened to one of them.
Now, had it passed, this bill would have required refugees from Syria or Iraq, even those who had visited those countries in the past 5 years, to be verified by the FBI, Homeland Security, and Director of National Intelligence. About 13% of Ector County residents are food insecure, a statistic the West Texas Food Bank hoping to put a dent in their new facility. Food Bank hosting a grand opening for its new location today with guest speaker Congressman Mike Conaway. The new building has a food warehouse 4 times bigger than the last facility and a freezer 2 times bigger. New programs and cooking classes will also be offered soon. The ribbon cutting ceremony begins at 2 with tours going until 4 p.m. In West Texas, it's an unwelcomed but familiar sight. One accident after another clogging the stretch of Interstate 20 between Midland and Odessa. These issues prompting the Permian Basin Metropolitan Organization to take action. Local 2's Lupe Zapata met with organizers as they embark on the planning stages of this study.
In the advent of the amount of lives that have been lost in the last several years, there's a problem.
What enhancements are needed? What are the access or mobility challenges? Some people asking these questions and many more at the first I-20 corridor study work group meeting. Because of the large amount of minor and fatal car accidents, Councilmember John Loves says enough is enough.
Well, I think every single citizen in Midland, Odessa has been impacted. Someone knows someone who was unfortunately in an accident.
The study may last between 12 and 18 months to gather the information needed to apply for recently available funding.
Last December, the federal government signed the first highway bill in over 10 years. So there is a source of funds available from U.S. Department of Transportation.
MPO's mobility manager, Rena Bell, tells me they will encourage public participation by inviting people to study meetings and through social media.
Everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on social media. So tapping into those resources gives them information on how they can get more involved and how their voices can be heard.
Living here most of his life, Love tells me these anticipated updates and changes will make travel much safer.
The interstate was built in the 50s, and there was no anticipation for this amount of traffic, this amount of congestion, and this amount of growth. And so we have literally outgrown the interstate.
Lupi Zapata, Local 2 News.
Lupi, thank you. We'll look forward to see what comes of this. But sticking with roads, in Midland, a taxpayer-funded traffic light taken down just months after it was installed. Officials say a crack in the pole caused it to be removed, making the popular intersection of Loop 250 and Interstate 20 in Midland now a four-way stop. Local 2's Tyler Wessner has the story.
Nothing in this world is perfect, and this is just something that happens from time to time, and we're dealing with it the best we can.
A traffic signal on the South Service Road of Interstate 20 at West Loop 250 in Midland, with a crack down its base, taken down Thursday afternoon.
You know, it wasn't like it was fixing to fall down or anything like that, but we wanted to make sure we did the safest thing possible, which was take the signal down.
Gene Powell with the Odessa District of TxDOT says there's no timeline on repairs, but it could take a while.
If we can't find a replacement pole, we'll have to get one manufactured, and that could take 3 or 4 months, unfortunately, because the manufacturer is so far behind.
The intersection of Loop 250 and I-20 is now a four-way stop until they can find out what caused the crack and repairs can be made.
We don't know if it was hit by a vehicle, if it was something wrong with the manufacturing process, if it was dropped during installation. We'll try to figure that out. May not ever know how it cracked.
Powell tells me taxpayers funded the project and now might pay the price to fix it.
We have bridges and lights and all sorts of things get hit all the time, and we never know who's responsible, and unfortunately taxpayers end up footing that cost.
But if they find out it was hit by a car, then Powell says a guilty driver may help recover some of the money lost.
If we can discover that someone actually struck the base and that's what caused the problem, then we can file a damage claim to recoup the cost.
Tyler Wessner, Local 2 News.
Tyler, thank you.
Now your weather on the Tubes, sponsored by Planet Fitness.
Now, before we get to this, Powell says that TxDOT will also inspect other traffic signals in the area to make sure they remain safe and securely put up. But every time I go up to one of those four-way stops, I told you earlier, I think of my mom. All right, Rebecca, it's kindergarten. We're taking turns. Still stresses me out.
Well, and it's tough, too, because it always depends. You've got that in your mind. What does everyone else have in their mind? Because I always look at it as, well, you go like the hands on a clock. You go clockwise. Does everybody else think that, or am I just the only one that's thinking?
Whoever gets up to there first.
No, but when if it's a simultaneous arrival, but even then it doesn't
start
work.
Like
it's
north?
Tough. Yeah.
Who starts?
Yeah, and then is everybody going on their GPS? Which way is north again?
Right.
Yeah. And then somebody leans out. That's me. I got first. You know. Yeah.
And then they all go.
I get you. Yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully we get that all fixed up,
Yes.
and hopefully we get these temperatures fixed up a little bit. Seeing those numbers starting to rise into this afternoon, but still pretty cold out there throughout the rest of the day today. Just a little bit of cloud cover showing up right now off to our west, but for the most part, satellite and radar coming up pretty clean out there. Yesterday's highs got into the upper 50s and lower 60s, but today we're turning all those numbers down by a good deal, starting off in the mid to upper 20s across most of the basin. A couple of spots barely making it into the lower 30s, and we're talking cold weather, or we're definitely talking flu season. We're seeing a lot of that making its way across West Texas right now. Flu B showing up as a high virus to keep in mind out there, so make sure you try to stay safe. Keep those hands nice and clean. Wash them all the time. We'll be back with more news and weather in just 2 minutes.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Now, your Local 2 Weather Authority forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist John Mayer here, and we are tracking a little bit of snowfall developing well off to our east, but still, it's definitely a big story out there as we're seeing some major snow developing, making its way up the Atlantic seaboard. Could be leading to 1.5 to 2 feet of snowfall in cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York City. Could be leading to some really rough conditions moving into the weekend, but as far as we go down here in the Lone Star State, hey, not a whole lot going on out there. Really mostly clear skies, just a little bit of cloud cover making its way into the eastern portion of the region. But other than that, for the most part, we should be staying clear and dry over the next several days, but definitely starting off a little bit cold out there. That's one thing we have in common with the East Coast right now, seeing those temperatures dropping down well below freezing into the mid to upper 20s across much of West Texas. Even off to our east, still some pretty cold temperatures out there. 37 right now in Dallas, 40 in Austin, and getting down into the low to mid 40s along the Gulf Coast. Throughout the rest of the day today, more of that cold air settling in, but should be warming up as we move into the weekend. One good thing, though, at least we're not seeing those strong winds like we had yesterday. At this time of day yesterday, we were seeing 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts going on across the basin. Right now, we've got single-digit wind speeds, and that's good news. Means our wind chill not quite as extreme out there, so it doesn't feel just as bad as it did yesterday, but still very cold out there. Still seeing those numbers below the freezing mark early on this morning, and not a lot of relief throughout this afternoon. Only getting into the mid-50s. That's right around average for this time of year, but when we saw those 70s over the past several days, 50 degrees is nothing that we can get too excited over. We want to see some of those warmer numbers, and they'll be back before too long. Saturday, Sunday, seeing some of that warmth coming in as this high pressure begins to move into the viewing area. Could see some of those temperatures start to rise with plenty of sunshine as we make our way into the weekend. This afternoon, though, definitely not going to be talking about warm temperatures coming our way. Low to mid-50s, that's about all the more that we're going to see throughout West Texas this afternoon. But by tomorrow, seeing those numbers starting to rebound, lower 60s on the way for Midland on Saturday, and a chance that we could even see some mid to upper 60s down into the Trans-Pecos as we move into the weekend. But still, with these warmer temperatures coming our way, staying dry out there, important to keep in mind that we haven't seen a whole lot of moisture through the start of this new year, and it looks like we're going to have a chance to be dealing with more of that dry weather into the latter half of the weekend. Could be looking at some potential fire weather as we make our way into Sunday, with those temperatures really starting to rise up there, seeing highs getting all the way into the lower 70s by Sunday afternoon, but then a chance to cool down into next week with even a slight chance for some snowfall early on Wednesday morning.
Quite a few changes. Thank you, John. Well, the MOSC has a special performance coming up this Saturday called Latent Emotions. Conductor Gary Lewis joining us this morning to tell us more about it. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca.
So this is really a special performance.
Well, it's special because we have a guest composer with us. It's always great when you can have a living composer and they come and you can interact with them with both the audience and the orchestra. We had a rehearsal last night with Oscar, and it's just been a real pleasure. He comes to us from Madrid, Spain. A couple of seasons ago, our principal clarinetist, Chris Chance, performed one of his new concerti for clarinet. And the audience loved it so much, and the orchestra loved it so much, that we really wanted to do more of his music and to have him come to the Permian Basin. So he's here this weekend. This is an incredible work for solo violin and orchestra. Our own concertmaster, John Madura, is performing the solo part, and it's a really exciting piece. So we couldn't be more excited about the weekend.
Well, how special is it that you get to have a living conductor, not a conductor, composer?
Right.
You're a living conductor.
Well,
you're here too.
On most days, yes. But no, it's really a special treat, because we often say, a kid, we're always performing all these dead white European males, in our canon of classical music, but it's really special when you can work with a composer and interact with them, understand exactly what they meant, because often we're guessing, either based on scholarship or our understanding of a dead person's music, So having him here, he's such a effervescent personality. He's going to be addressing the audience at the concert, and along with this really special piece of his, we're doing Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, which is probably one of the most favorites of our audience. So it's just going to be a great concert.
Yeah. Well, and what can the audience expect from Mr. Navarro's work?
Yeah, this Latent Emotions, he really wanted to capture the emotions, the wide spectrum of emotions that someone has when they're attending a concert or listening to great music. And so each of the four movements has a distinct feel to it. The second movement is really very beautiful. It's almost like meditation, like the orchestra actually inhales and exhales. It makes an interesting sound, and so it's very meditative. The third movement is really driving sort of scherzo, very effervescent and sparkling. The last movement is very driving and exciting. So each movement has its own distinct emotion. Oscar has written a lot for film, actually. He came to the States and studied at USC, the Thornton School of Music, which is connected to the great film school there. So he studied with many of the great film composers, and his music has a very cinematic quality to it. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, where can we go to get tickets?
Tickets are available at our website, mosc.org, or through the Wagner Noel box office.
And again, this concert happening tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
Gary,
7:30.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you'd like to be here on Good Day, go ahead and contact us.
Know of a community event or news story? Then contact us. You can call 432-563-4421. Email news@kmid.tv. Like us on Facebook at Local2News-KMID. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Local2News-KMID. Now, your weather on the twos. Sponsored by Planet Fitness.
All right, well, early on this morning, we're still looking at a lot of that cold air making its way through right now, as well as a little bit of cloud cover trying to move into the western portion of the viewing area out around the mountains. But for the most part, we should be fairly clear and dry moving through the next couple of days, if not just a little bit cold out there, at least for this morning. Starting off down in the upper 20s, definitely going to be a cold morning for that bus stop forecast. Want to send the kids out with a pretty big coat, so you make sure that they're bundled up early on today. By this afternoon, only warming into the mid-50s. Overnight tonight, dropping back down below freezing yet again, a low of 30 degrees. I'll have the latest on exactly what you can expect for that weekend forecast coming up next.
Basin trusted, Basin proud. You're watching Local 2 News Good Day in HD.
Welcome back just before 6:30, and we love to celebrate local birthdays.
We sure do, especially when we have some like we do.
Finally!
Yay!
Judy Rogers. She is with our sister station, KPEJ, which means she's turning
25.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Well, happy birthday, Judy. So to celebrate with us, you have to share with us or work here. Contact us here at the station so we can air your birthday and celebrate with you.
You work here, you don't have a choice. We celebrate.
And you will turn 25.
Yeah.
Do you want to celebrate your real birthday?
I said that. I intend to.
Okay.
If I have to type it in myself.
John, you look really good for 72.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some celebrities who are celebrating their birthdays today. I can never say his last name. Chef Guy Fieri.
Fieri.
Whatever. He's turning 48.
Chef really loud t-shirts. Carlos Ruiz, baseball player, turning 37 today.
Any fun facts about him?
No.
Okay. TV actress Beverly Mitchell, turning 35.
Football player Ray Rice, turning 29. Yeah, there's fun facts about him. You remember that?
No.
Domestic violence. Anyways, next up.
Okay. TV actor Matt Eastman. All right, he's turning 45.
It's like Batman, but with eases. And finally, soccer player Ibrahima Sanko, turning 35.
Huge fan.
Yeah, sure.
Huge fan.
I know you love your Ibrahima.
Always.
It's fun to
Bless
say, though. Ibrahima. I'm liking it. I'm going to work that into a forecast someday.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today? Oh, very.
It's a little Ibrahima outside.
Okay.
You might need a jacket because so Ibrahima-y. We're seeing those temperatures starting off very cool down there, just below freezing early on this morning, lower 30s and upper 20s, but a chance that we warm up into the weekend, seeing those highs rebounding 60s and even 70s by Sunday. But next week, that chance for snow back in the forecast early on Wednesday morning. We'll be back with more news and weather in just 2 minutes. Stay tuned.